G'day, back in the shed today, back working on the Pink Panther. So this is the Pink Panther Galant. Since, I think this is about the 39th or the 40th video, lost count. Since the last video, off camera, I've installed the boot lid and the rear glass. All the rest of the glass is in now as well. I had to put the rear glass in and I had to assemble basically the outside of the car because I've moved workshop. I'm in the new workshop now and I needed to tow this car home. So because I didn't have a windscreen, which I still can't get by the way, it seems like they're hard to find. But I couldn't get a windscreen, so I didn't want to destroy the hood lining, which I put in, the roof lining I should say, which I put in earlier. So I put the rear screen in and flipped the car around backwards and that worked fine. So the outside's basically done. The bonnet's over there, you can see against the wall, that needs painting still. And then the bumper bars, they're over there under the bench. They need straightening and painting as well. But the rest of it is basically done. Today I will be putting the interior in proper. I've had it sitting in there before for transport, but I was missing a few items and this window wasn't going up and down properly, so I've been messing around with that off camera as well. But today I'm going to get the seat belts in and then the seats in and all the door cards on. So all those bits and pieces are spread around the shop. Well, let's crack on. This is a bit of a bear, the seat itself, because there's these tabs over the back that you've got to get it into, and because this one's been retrimmed, it's pretty puffy now. He's put some new material in it to make it comfier. So it's a bit thick and not that easy to get in place, and so this was a bit of a fight as well, getting this in there. But I've got it in. Now I need this front edge here, this is where he's trimmed it, and he's left plenty of material, so this pinch weld needs to come off. And then this piece here needs to be cut and then tucked back there, and then the pinch weld goes over the top of it. So I need to get that all cut and trimmed into place. See, it's all looking really nice. I'm not going to be fitting rear handles back here. Not necessary and not really enough room as it is, and I don't think it adds to the overall look of the car. I think it's hard to see on camera here. I'm not sure we're picking up shed lights, but I like how all this comes through here. It looks pretty sweet, pretty nicely made. All right, yeah, I won't bore you with more of the same, so I'm going to go over there and do this side, and I'll bring you back. All right, got both sides done. That looks really good, actually. Really happy with that. I had these trimmed by a guy I use, but this car didn't come with door cards at all, so I had to make these panels at the back, and I had to fold. I made this bit here out of metal. It's like because it wrapped on these cars, it wraps around the frame here. It sort of wraps over the door, and this edge here, don't say it rubs on the glass, but it sort of guides the glass and holds it and stops it sort of rattling around. So I had to sort of figure this out. These parts for these cars are super rare. Like I said before, I'm having massive trouble finding a new windscreen. If anyone knows where you can get one of those for these, my normal windscreen guy hasn't had any luck, and I've sort of reached out online to lots of companies who say they do old cars, but no one has yet come back and said, yeah, we can supply that glass. So the way these hold on is there's a big door handle that goes here that screws into the door behind it. So I'm not concerned about that, but there's these clips that go around the edge, these little things. And in the back of the door, they sort of clip on like that. They sort of, all these holes here I've put into the door card before it went and got trimmed, and then these clips sort of sit in there, and they slide into these provisions on the door, which is what retains it. So it's going to take a little bit to get these all lined up and sorted out. But before I get too far into that, I want to make sure that I get it all lined up correctly with the inner handle here, because these screws need to line up with these holes. Looking at it now, there's actually 2 sets of holes there, so I guess it's, I don't know. But I'll go and get the inner handle and might stick this back on. Yeah, and I'll go and grab the inner handle and make sure everything lines up. And I think I probably need to find the bolts for it too. Looking at the door, they were a threaded thing. They weren't a self-tapper. So I'm going to have to dig through these boxes and see if I can figure out where they are. Well, I'm a bit stuffed here, if I'm honest. This bit here, which is the part that goes over the handbrake, it mounts up here. There's 2 screw holes that line up with just there, so that's fine. So some big self tappers will hold that thing down. At the back, there's these other 2, but they sit at least 5 centimeters up from here. These 2 down here, those holes, they sit like 5 centimeters up at least. But when you come back here, there's a little bracket here where my fingers are. I don't know if you can see it. A little bracket in there. And it lines up. The distance between there and there is the same as here and here. So I'd say that's what it is. But it sits flush with the floor. So there's no way. There must be another piece that goes onto this bracket and builds it up. It stands it off to up here so that this can mount. I think that's how it works. So I either need, I'm either missing something that goes here, which is easy to make. It's just a bracket. I can get a piece of sheet metal, cut it to shape and put some holes in it and put some threads in it and all the rest of it and screw this down. I'm not overly worried about that. I think I can make that work. So I can get this piece in, but this, I'm in a hole on this thing. Someone's slotted it here, and I'd say they've slotted it, I don't know why. My thought was that they'd slotted it so that it could sit further back this way in order to get this shifter boot to line up with the shifter, but this car didn't have an engine in it. I don't know, this whole thing's getting weird. This car didn't have an engine in it when I got it, and I don't know what it had in before, but I'm assuming it had the 1.6 4-cylinder in it, but maybe it didn't. Maybe this has all been modified before because it had something else in it. I don't know. I don't know if this is what's going on here is common or whatever, but there's a couple of things that need to happen. One, firstly, I'm not changing the gearbox. This car's getting a 5-speed. That's the first thing that's happening. So this is where this is going to be. I need to make up a plate to go here to seal off that area there, because this boot isn't going to cover that, so I can't have that exposed. That's the gearbox just there and the tunnel inside there, so that's no good. So I've got to cover that up. So I make up a plate to cover that up. There's holes already, so I can make it screw in, bit of seam sealer, that'll be fine. Not even concerned about that. Then with this guy, unfortunately, I think I'm going to hack it. There's no way, because you can get it on, just to demonstrate what's going on here, about to justify my ultimate butchery. You can get it on, which is fine, and then you need to get this hole here needs to line up with that bracket there, and the front of this needs to line up with that bracket up there. So, well, it's already up in 3rd gear now, so if you get it, well, you can't even get it to line up. I'm still 2 inches short. So the only way to get it to work, I think, is to increase the size of this hole. So basically, what I'm thinking is to hack it from this line here, continue it to the edge where this silver piece is, come down here and around there and up there, and then source an aftermarket boot, another one of these that's just bigger. It's like dimensionally that long, and secure it up into place into here to neaten it all off, and that'll work fine. I think that's what I'm going to do, because you want this in the right location. This needs to sit up there where it's supposed to integrate with the rest of the dash and look right, and that'll also allow this piece to fit in, because if this is too far this way, this surround's not going to go in. So I think that's where I'm at. I'm going to cut this guy to pieces. At least this is easy to remove and install. So what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to get this in and install this, put the front seats in, and sort of get the interior mostly complete. I've obviously got an issue here missing the dashboard and the steering wheel, but yeah, get the interior mostly complete, and then later on down the road I can simply unscrew this, pull it out, and then, because I'm going to have to order in this shifter surround. So that's where I'm at. That took entirely longer than it should have, but the seats are all in and all the seat belts are in. I just fitted this strip here, this trim here, this rubber here was all perished. So this is one out of a, I think it's out of an American car, a Buick or something. I managed to order on the internet and it fitted the profile of this chrome trim perfectly. So I'm touching it gingerly because I've only just glued it in there. So I don't really want to mess around with that too much. But yeah, the seats are in. They look good, carpet's in. I've got the center console and the handbrake surround thing in. Center console, I'm just waiting on a new boot to arrive. I've modified this part here. So in here, I'm going to make up a plastic section and it's going to have a cup holder that sort of goes in there, I think. It should clear the shifter, no worries. That's first, second, third, fourth, fifth and then reverses down there. So no issues with the gear stick going anywhere near where the cup holder would be. So I think that's a pretty good spot. Either a cup holder will go in there or I'll just blank it off. But I've got a new surround, a new boot coming, which I'll attach it in on the inside here and it'll come up. And then I thought I had a 5-speed shifter knob, but I don't know if I've got one. Anyway, that's not very important, can do that any time. I'm just going to check the seating position now, because I'm not that big a guy, I'm 6'1", but it's pretty small in here, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, significantly smaller than I thought. My head's almost on the roof, and my legs, I haven't even got the steering wheel in, and like I'm in the seats as far back as it goes. I'm not sure if it shows up too well, but there's not a whole lot of room here, so I guess I'll put the wheel on. The wheel that we've got for now anyway, it's some sort of a sports wheel. It's got quite a dish on it, which I thought was a bad idea. I thought that maybe it was too much dish, but now looking at this arrangement with where my knees are and whatever, I think it's probably for a reason. Sort of comes up and then it goes out like this, and it's probably going to sit about here, which is probably about right. But yes, I'll put the wheel on, have a quick test fit of that. Then I've got these trims that go on down here to finish off the carpet, make that look good. Looks pretty sloppy like that. Put them on, and yeah, we'll continue on. That's not too bad, I guess. I've got a Tirana that I drive around in, and the cabin's definitely smaller on this, like significantly smaller, but for seating position wise, I think it's okay. I think the seat can recline a little bit more too, get a bit more lean on it. Yeah, it's not bad. I actually like the steering wheel with the dish like this. This one's a bit tatty. Maybe it'll clean up, but the dish is cool. It's very sporty. I think that'll work. All right, well, I'm super happy with that, the way that it's all come out. It fought me. I had to walk away from it a few times. I've been on this, filming this for over a couple of weeks now, believe it or not. It's a pain in the ass, but it looks awesome. I'm super happy with it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.